Hello guys, today we discussed about the classes and objects in OOPS. First we look for how specifying a class. Okay, a class is a way to bind the data and its associated functions together. It allows the data and functions to be hidden if necessary from external use. When defining a class, we are creating a new abstract data type that can be treated like any other built-in data type. Generally, a class specification has two parts. First one is class declaration and second one is class function definitions. The class declaration describes the type and scope of its members, and the class function definitions describe how the class functions are implemented. And this is the general form of a class declaration. The class declaration is similar to a struct declaration, that means structure. The keyword class specifies that what follows is an abstract data of type class name. The body of a class is enclosed within braces and terminated by a semicolon. The class body contains the declaration of variables and functions. These functions and variables are collectively called class members. They are usually grouped under two sections, namely private and public, to denote which of the members are private and which of them are public. The keywords private and public are known as visibility labels, and the class members that have been declared as private can be accessed only from within the class. On the other hand, public members can be accessed from outside the class also. The data hiding is the key feature of object-oriented programming, and the use of this keyword private is optional. By default, the members of the class are private. If both the labels are missing, then by default all the members are private. Such a class is completely hidden from the outside world and does not serve any purpose. The variables declared inside the class are known as data members and functions are known as member functions. Only the member functions can have access to the private data members and private functions. However, the public members can be accessed from outside the class. The binding of data and functions together into a single class data type is referred to as encapsulation. The next is accessing class members. How we accessing class members in a class. As pointed out earlier, the private data of a class can be accessed only through the member functions of that class. So the main cannot contain statements that access number and cost directly. The following is a format for calling a member function in a class. Next we look for the static data members. Static data members in C++. It also known as class variables. A data member of a class can be qualified as static. The properties of a static member variable are similar to that of C static variable, and it has a certain special characteristics. These are the characteristics. It is initialized to 0 when the first objects of its class is created. No other initialization is permitted, and only one copy of that member is created for the entire class and is shared by all the objects of that class, no matter how many objects are created. It is visible only within the class, but its lifetime is the entire program. Then the static variables are normally used to maintain values common to the entire class. Next we are going to discuss about the friendly functions in C. We have been emphasizing throughout this chapter that the private members cannot access from outside the class. That is, a non-member function cannot have an accessing the private data of a class. So, to make an outside function friendly to a class, we have to simply declare this function as a friend of the class. And this is the syntax of the friend function used in class, and the function declaration should be preceded by the keyword friend. The function is defined elsewhere in the program like a normal C++ function, and the function definition does not use either the keyword friend or the scope operator. The functions that are declared within the keyword friend are known as friend functions. A function can be declared as a friend in any number of classes. A friend function, although not a member function, has full access rights to the private members of the class, and it has certain special characteristics. That is, it is not in the scope of the class to which it has been declared as friend, and it cannot be called using the object of that class, and it can be invoked like a normal function without the help of any object. Then use an object name and dot membership operator with each member name, and it can be declared either in the public or the private part of a class without affecting its meaning, and usually it has the objects as arguments.